Indonesia is not merely a name written on the world map. It is the heartbeat of the vast oceans, the echo of towering mountains, and the whisper of rice fields stretching endlessly green before the eyes. This land is written by time, carved by history, and sustained by countless prayers. It is born out of the meeting of diversity, conflict, and unity that is always being tested. Indonesia is a beautiful paradox, a place where wounds and hopes walk side by side, where fractures and togetherness constantly wrestle, yet always find a way to embrace one another again. When we speak of Indonesia, we are not merely speaking of land, but of a journey of the soul. That journey finds its expression in many symbols, yet one of the greatest stands in the heart of Java, Borobudur. This temple is not merely a pile of stones, but a book written without letters. Every carving upon its walls is a sentence, every relief a story, every stupa a prayer not spoken aloud but breathed in silence. Borobudur teaches us that life itself is an upward journey. From the base, filled with worldly attachments, humanity is invited to climb step by step. Every stone stair is not only a path to the top of the temple, but also a path to the summit of self-awareness. On the stone walls, we see the cycle of birth and death, of suffering and hope, of attachment and release. All of it reminds us that humans are not merely bodies walking upon the earth, but souls searching for their way home. Borobudur is the silent face of Indonesia, yet because of its silence, it speaks louder than any skyscraper or modern monument. It tells us that true greatness is not born from noise, but from patience. It whispers that this nation may fall many times, but it will always have the strength to rise again. It reminds us that unity is not something born of sameness, but of courage, the courage to remain together amidst differences. And is that not also the story of this nation? Indonesia was born from simple hands, from collective labor that sought not fame, but meaning. Just as Borobudur was not built for one person, but for generations, for civilization, for the universe, so too was Indonesia born not only for itself, but also for the world. When the sun rises above the stupas of Borobudur, shadows fall upon the earth. Those shadows are symbols that every greatness always leaves traces, and every light always casts form. There we learn that after the longest night, light must surely come. That after the deepest wound, hope will once again be born. Indonesia today is often caught in the noise of modernity, in cities that never sleep, in ambitions that are never enough, in conflicts that seem endless. Yet Borobudur reminds us, pause, listen to the silence, for silence speaks more fluently than words. Within it, we find direction. Within it, we find meaning. Borobudur is the metaphor of Indonesia, fragile, cracked by time, yet still standing, silent, yet still teaching, ancient, yet always relevant. And like Borobudur, Indonesia is a poem unfinished, its verses still being written by us, its people. We are both the readers and the pilgrims. Our task is not only to read, but also to continue writing this story. When we gaze upon Borobudur, we are in truth gazing upon ourselves. We see the same journey, to be born, to grow, to fall, to rise, to seek, and at last to find. We see that this nation is a soul climbing its own stairway, step by step, towards the summit of awareness. Indonesia is not merely a homeland. It is a long journey into maturity. It is a prayer that never ends, a song that never ceases, a poem that continues to unfold. Borobudur stands as one of its most beautiful verses, a verse that teaches us that the greatness of humanity and of a nation is not measured by the height of its buildings, but by the depth of its wisdom. And perhaps one day, when we have walked too far into the noise of our times, Borobudur will still stand in its silence, waiting for us to return, reminding us of the most fundamental truth, that to become truly great, we must first learn to be still. Indonesia is a living Borobudur, silent, steadfast, full of meaning, and never finished with its story.